Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a Gadot as Wonder Woman inspired makeup tutorial. Well, it's a no makeup tutorial, I suppose. So a couple of weeks ago I saw the Wonder Woman movie and I just fell in love with it. I think it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it already, definitely go. It's a movie I would definitely pay to see again, and that's saying something considering how expensive movie tickets in Australia can be. Yeah, I just fell in love with her no makeup look. It's just something I haven't really done in a while. So yeah, that's what sort of inspired me to do this video. So I was stalking Gal Gadot's Instagram, of course, and I found out that her makeup artist is Sarah Brock. Sarah Brock's Instagram is Sarah Brock MUA. So you can go through her profile and she actually does, oh crap, you can't actually see that, but she actually does upload photos of what products she used as well, which I think is great. Something I did pick up, inspired by Sarah Brock, was the Perricone No Lipstick lipstick, which is what I've got on now. This is what Sarah Brock used on Gal, and I think it's amazing. I think it's a really great product. You'll see it in action in the video. Yeah, so I didn't want to just go ahead and buy everything that Sarah Brock used. I didn't, however, have anything similar to the Perricone lipstick, so I went and bought that. So here were a couple of my photos for inspiration. Just wanted to, I just looked up Wonder Woman screen grabs and just found a couple of pictures. And yeah, and I hope I copied it pretty closely to what Gal was wearing. So yeah, if you want to find out how to achieve this look, then please keep watching. So to start, I'm going to be taking a primer, and I'm so sorry if this isn't the brand name of the primer. I did try out the packaging. It's either a Korean or, no, sorry, it's a Japanese brand. It is the Heroine Make Lasting Base in Moist Keep. There is also another one in Matte Keep, and I think that one could be, as the name suggests, more for oily skin and things like that. So I hope the brand name is Heroine Make. I'm not sure. I will try and find the real name and list it in the description box below. Primer is of course optional, but I know a lot of people like to use it, so yeah, I thought I would incorporate it in this video. And what I like about this one, because when I first bought it, I didn't realize they made a matte keep version, and I was worried that this one was going to be very dewy, and I don't really like particularly dewy primers because of my oily skin. But I found that this one, the name is actually quite fitting. It's called Moist Keep, and I feel like it maintains the moisture in your skin all day long, which I think is great. So it's great to put on after you moisturize, and you just want to keep feeling really hydrated all day. So next for foundation, I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade N1. I'm only going to be taking a very small amount of this foundation. I usually put way too much on. And yeah, for this look, it's, you know, it's not going to look right because obviously Gal Gadot had very natural looking makeup in Wonder Woman. I'm just going to be taking, hopefully that's not too much. I like to just wipe the rim of the jar on my face. Next I'm going to be taking a little bit of the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in white. Just going to squeeze a little bit of that on there because the shade N1 is still just that little bit too dark for me. So I'm just going to apply this, blend it out with my fingers, or sorry, I should say apply with my fingers. I'll rub it in a little bit, and then blend it out with a sponge. Oh, I think I applied way too much, but it's okay. The sponge will absorb a lot of the product. Okay, now just taking a damp sponge, I'm just going to blend this in. Okay, next is concealer. I'm going to be going in with my trusty Maybelline Fit Me in Fair. Now, I know in a lot of my videos I usually like paint this on, but for this video, as we're doing a very natural, almost no makeup look, I'm just going to be dotting a little bit just sort of to cover my under eye circles. I have a couple of blemishes, pimples that are no longer active and have healed, but I still have a couple of marks. That's why I'm okay with, you know, applying concealer directly to those parts rather than putting concealer on the back of my hand then dabbing it on, because otherwise if they were active I could easily contaminate my whole jar of concealer. I'm also just going to pop this around my nostrils as well and just dab a little bit, just sort of what's left on the wand really, just above my lip, because I do get a shadow there and it makes it look like I've got a little mustache. So yeah, I feel like lightening that area just a teeny bit really helps to counteract that look. And I'm just going to be blending this with my finger. I love blending concealer with my fingers. I just feel like it warms up the product, and yeah, I don't know, I just like the way it looks more than when I blend out my concealer with a brush. I'm also just taking what's left on my fingers and just essentially priming my eyelids. To set that, I'm going to be taking my RCMA No Colour Powder, and instead of baking my whole face, which is what I usually do, I'm just going to be taking this setting brush by Real Techniques. My camera wants to focus. Come on, there we go. So this brush by Real Techniques, the setting brush. I'm just going to be taking, yeah, just a little bit of powder at a time. I'm not going to be baking at all, not even my under eyes, because I feel like it can easily make the foundation have the appearance of being more full coverage than what it actually is. But whereas if you just take a little bit at a time and just sort of set it with a brush like this, it does give you a very natural finish. So it is a slightly longer process. I do love just going in with my powder puff and just pressing the powder into my skin. It definitely does help with longevity, doing it that way, but it also, I feel like it, you know, your skin doesn't really look like skin. It does, people definitely know that you have foundation on. I am sort of applying some around my cheeks because we're going to be going in with the matte bronzer, and I haven't really worn a proper matte bronzer in a while. I do contour with a cool toned contouring powder, but as for bronzer, I'm a little bit nervous, so I am sort of putting a little bit more powder around, like on my cheeks, sort of, I guess this whole general area from the top of my cheekbone down to my jawline, just so it sort of gives a base for the bronzer rather than going straight in and not having that area fully covered in powder. It could, I don't know, I'm just worried about the bronzer clinging to patches of my foundation that aren't covered in powder and then looking muddy, and we don't want that. Next, I'm actually going to tightline my upper lash line, and for this I'm going to be using the L'Oreal, I keep forgetting the name of this, the L'Oreal Voluminous Smouldering Eyeliner in black. And the reason why I'm doing this now is because as much as I love the pigmentation of this eyeliner, it does transfer. So that's why I like doing it before I actually go in with my eye makeup, or the rest of my eye makeup I should say, like my eyeshadow and mascara and everything, just because it's going to be a lot easier to wipe off that transfer on my waterline if I do this now. Okay, and that's done. So I'm just going to zoom in the camera and we'll do our brows next. Okay, for brows I'm going to be starting off with the MAC eyeshadow in Brun. I'm just going to be taking an angled brush. Okay, so it's just sort of done the base with the powder, and then I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. I'm just going to go ahead and darken up my brows a little bit more and just sort of add some more hair-like strokes. And just define the tail of the brow a little bit more. Okay, that's starting to go a little bit unnatural, so I'm just gonna spoolie it out. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of Coquette, also from MAC, just because I feel like I went a little bit too close in with that brow wiz. And this is a lighter brown shade. I'm just gonna help, I guess, blend it out a little bit and also add another sort of tone to my brow as well. There we go. I'm actually really surprised that that L'Oreal liner hasn't transferred. It usually would have by now. I'm actually really impressed by that. Okay, so now eyeshadow. Now I've already primed the lids with concealer. You can go ahead and use an eyeshadow primer if you'd like. I don't think we need to. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of set that eye base just with Blanc Type by MAC. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead, take that and just apply that all over the lid. This has got to be my favourite vanilla coloured eyeshadow ever. Okay, obviously if you have darker skin than me, this colour is going to be way too light. So you may have to go on with a slightly, darker shade. But yeah, ultimately you just, but ultimately just find a matte eyeshadow that matches your skin tone and just set your eye base with that. Next we're going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in Birkin. And I'm just going to be taking a fluffy crease brush and just applying that through the crease. Next I'm going to be taking the shade Fawn, also by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is sort of like a medium brown shade. I'm just going to be taking just a little bit of this and just carefully applying it to the outer V, just this very outer corner, just like that. Because it just, from the screenshots I was looking at, it looked like she just had this darker colour just on the very outer edge, but yeah, it wasn't so much in the crease. Okay, now I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush because we've dirtied that one by applying product, and we don't want to blend out the harsh edges with a dirty brush. Yeah, I should name this video Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman look remixed for people with really fair skin, because Gal Gadot has that beautiful medium skin tone, that real sun-kissed look. Well, it makes sense. I mean, she's playing an Amazonian princess. Okay, and that is literally all the eyeshadow we're doing. I might actually take just a little bit, in fact I might even mix them together, we'll see how I go. I'm definitely going to take Birkin to start off with and just sort of run that just really close to my bottom lashes. Okay, and I can see that that liner has transferred after I was saying how amazing it was that it didn't transfer. So I'm just going to be taking a cotton bud. I'm just gonna need 2 hands for this. I'm just gonna carefully wipe away the transfer. And next I'm going to be taking Shroom by MAC, and this is going to be our inner corner highlight. I'm just going to apply a touch of this on my Cupid's bow as well. Next I'm going to be taking the NYX Très Jolie black eyeliner in pitch black. Now, what I noticed throughout the film, because there were several scenes where they did extreme close-ups on Gal's face, and you could definitely see that she had just a thin line on her upper lash line. It wasn't winged out or anything. And yeah, it looked very soft, like it was perhaps a pencil or a gel. Definitely didn't look like it was a liquid. I haven't really played with this liner much. I only just bought it a few days ago. So hopefully it gives the same effect as to what Gal had. I think she did have more of a really, really dark black brown. Wasn't actually black by this, but this is all I have. I feel like I messed up this side a little bit. So I'm just going to take a clean angled brush, and there's no product on this. I'm just going to try and sort of soften it. It's always going to be a mystery to me as to why one eye is always better than the other when you try to do any sort of form of liner. I feel like this eye looks a lot better than this eye. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply a nude eye pencil in the waterline because Gal Gadot either has the brightest waterline ever or her makeup artist used a flesh toned eye pencil. Okay, like that. Okay, oh, I hate that I'm off center. There we go. Next is mascara. I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Lash Sensational Luscious Full Fan Effect. This one's called. Now this isn't my favorite mascara, but it's the only mascara I have open at the moment. That's the thing. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that actually. Just putting a little bit on my lower lashes as well. Not too much though, because A, that's not very natural looking, and B, this mascara, I find it really hard to get right at the base of the lower lashes anyway. I have a feeling because Gal Gadot's lashes were looking really quite full, in a natural way, of course, I have a feeling she either got lash extensions before the film, or her makeup artist used very natural looking individuals to sort of enhance what she already has. So I don't have either of those things. I don't have lash extensions, and I also don't have individuals. So I'm just sticking with mascara. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with how that looks. I didn't want to apply too much because obviously her lashes didn't look like she was wearing mascara, because it is meant to be no makeup. And I'm just going to go ahead and zoom you guys out, and we'll finish the rest of the face and the lips. Okay, now I'm a little bit nervous about this next step. Earlier in the video I mentioned how I haven't really used an all over bronzer in a really long time, or a matte bronzer for that matter. And I was thinking to myself, oh no, I don't have a matte bronzer because I never wear bronzer. And then I remembered that in Mecca's last... Okay, so long story short, if you have a loyalty card with Mecca Maxima, I think it's 4 times a year they give you a little promo box, and it's just got sort of sample products. Sometimes it's mascara, sometimes it's a lipstick. They're all just like travel / sample size products, which is awesome. And the last one had a mini Too Faced chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is matte, so I thought that this would be perfect. I'm going to use a really light hand with this, just because, as I said, I don't really wear bronzer. I'm very fair, and so many bronzers can easily make me look muddy. So I'm just going to be applying this. This is actually a fake MAC 168 brush, so I'm not sure how this is going to look, but if it does look a little bit rough, I will blend it out with the Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish brush. I love this. I usually use this to apply blush. I recently cleaned my brushes, so these are all clean, and this is an amazing brush for blending out any harsh areas. If you accidentally went a little bit ham with your bronzer or your blush, just use this bad boy clean, and it'll just buff out any harsh edges. So that's what I'm gonna do, so wish me luck, guys. So I'm using bronzer because Gal definitely had colour on her cheeks. However, she looked like she didn't have any blush or highlighter. It just looked like she had a decent amount of bronzer sort of on her cheeks, like quite a large, like if you, like all the screenshots I've been looking at. I think it was more to add to that sun-kissed look rather than like contour, and just to like warm up the face and add colour to the face, I feel. I might put a little bit on my jawline as well. Just a little bit, just to sort of define that area a bit. I actually don't mind how that looks. I feel like it is warming up my skin and giving me a little bit of a bronzy glow, but it's not making me look muddy. I'm actually really pleased about that. I'm always really hesitant with bronzers, which is why I never wear them. I just assume I'm too fair to pull them off, but I'm actually really enjoying how that looks. And even with this brush, I mean, I will still go in and buff out with my other brush. I'm just going to go up to my temples a little bit as well, and maybe just a little bit on my forehead, just the very top of my forehead. Okay, I think that's plenty. If I keep going back in, I'm going to just, it'll be too much. I'm just going to take my Zoeva brush now and just carefully go over that, just make it look a little bit more natural. It looks okay in this lighting. I'm just a little bit concerned that it'll look muddy on camera when I go to edit this, but let's just hope it looks okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take my headband off. As much as I love this headband, I feel like you can't wear it for very long. You start to get a headache after about 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna take it off. Yeah, that's so much better. I might just apply a little bit more of that bronzer just down my neck, because I feel like because I applied some along my jawline, now I have a bit of a tan face and a white neck. Okay, now Although Gal Gadot's skin looked quite matte or quite satin, quite natural looking, I do want to add just a little bit of highlight because I just love my highlight. But I'm going to be taking a more natural one, and I am going to go in with a really light hand. So I'm going to be taking the MAC Lightscapade Mineralise Skinfinish. I'm just taking a little bit on my brush, not too much, and just applying the smallest amount. Just there on the very top of my cheekbone. Okay, now for lips, this is probably what I'm most excited about because this is a new product I haven't tried, and this is also what Gal Gadot's makeup artist used on her. As you can see, still has the Mecca sticker on it. I haven't even unwrapped it yet. So this is the Perricone No Lipstick lipstick. I did swatch the tester at the store. Unfortunately, that one had melted under the hot lights, so it was pretty gross, and yeah, I feel like I couldn't get a good idea of what it would have looked like on me. So I'm just going to apply this. Oh wow, that is beautiful. I mean, very natural. It's, I don't know much about this lipstick. There is a little, when you open the box, there is a little bit of paper that looks like it probably has a little story about the lipstick, the ingredients, and perhaps what it does. I think it could be a lip color designed to make your natural lip color look better. And I think that's definitely what this has done. Okay, so this is the finished look. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye guys.